Good afternoon, everyone. We are here to discuss to you our next lesson, which is the forms and styles of music. We have our objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students are expected to A. Understand the meaning and function of form in relation to music. B. Appreciate the similarities in the use of form and structure in music and the other arts. C. Distinguish between binary and ternary form when listening to music. And D. Be acquainted with the different styles and genres of music and its subgenres. Before we go on to our proper discussion, we all know that we are all God's masterpiece. All the things that we can see around, the plants, the animals, and other living things are all creations of God. And almost all of creation have something in common. The nature dictates that there should be balance and symmetry in everything, and it is also the same in music. So, from our previous topic, music is an organized set of sounds and silence, follow the same tenets of beauty and aesthetics. Music and the other arts simply try to manifest it in an abstract way. There is similarity, variety, symmetry, and asymmetry. So it means that music and the other arts have similarities, have differences, and other way around. Moreover, the ideas of form and style are almost present in music, and these two factors make each composition and genre distinct from one another. So these two terms, form and style, are very important in music. Let's move on to the forms of music. So, what is form? Form is a musical work's shape, structure, and the organized arrangement of its elements, and how these elements are manipulated so that the work makes sense. In simple terms, form in music is how a musical piece is organized through its structure. In addition, for hundreds of years, composers have been creating music, even large-scale works such as concertos, symphonic poems, and operas. These types of music require a long duration to perform and may be tiring for the listener. Composers use form to hold the listener's interest for 10 minutes, like half an hour, or even for a full 3 hours. So, composers use forms in order to hold the listener's interest. Form is not only for music, but it is widely employed in all other arts, like in poetry, literature, sculpture, and architecture. In forms of music, we have also the repetition and contrast, the duality in how musical elements are utilized. There are also letters used to label repetitions and contrast. For example, if a form is labeled ABA, then A signifies the repetition, while B signifies the element of contrast. It is because B is the only element that is different from the other elements. We have various forms of music, but here we have only two, the two and three part forms. The two part called binary and the three part called ternary. So these are the most commonly used in Western music. So let's discuss the binary form. It is a type of musical form with two contrasting parts, the A part and the B part. We can see the sample illustration. We have the A is the circle and B is the square. So here, there is no repetition happened. Why we only call them binary? Because we have only two parts, the A and the B part. So let us take this example, the Paru-Parong Bukid or the Butterfly Field, traditional Filipino folk song, as binary form of music. We can clearly see that there are only two parts, the A and B. A is labeled on the upper part and B is labeled or found below. So it has only two parts and there are no repetitions happened in this song. Let's go on to the second form of music, which is the ternary form. It is a type of musical form with three parts. The first part, A, is repeated after the second part, B. This makes this form symmetrical. As we can see in the sample illustration, we have A, the circle, and B is the square. And A is repeated after the B, which makes B the contrast of other elements. Why we also call this ternary form? Because it has three parts, the A, B, and A. Now, let us take this example, the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, as a ternary form of music. We can clearly see that there are three parts, the A, B, and A. A is labeled or found in the first part, B is in the middle, and A is repeated after the B part. So this make a ternary form of music. Let's go on to the styles of music. So, what is style? In music, it is the combination of characteristics and attributes that make it unique. Geography, history, belief systems, values, traditions, lifestyles, and culture all play important factors that shape different musical styles. So it means that my musical style is different from yours, but maybe similar to the other one. And this it is because these seven factors, the geography, history, belief systems, values, traditions, lifestyles, and culture really play important role in shaping our different musical styles. In Asian, we have different musical styles. The singers have different musical styles compared to the Western, and so on. In addition, any musician can create their musical style by using different techniques in melody, harmony, and rhythm, and how those factors influence or affect them. Now we have sample list of some styles of music. We have classical music. It belongs to Western world. It has a lighter, clearer texture than Baroque music. Also, we have popular music. It appeals for a wider range of audiences. And country music, it developed in the southern and western US. We have electronic music. It employs electronic musical instruments and other technologies used in production of music. We have also jazz. It has strong rhythms through players' improvisation. And ethnic music, it is played by a certain ethnic group that reflect their daily lives. And also hip hop, it has a strong rhythmic beat and a rapping vocal track. Musical theater, it is a theatrical performance that includes songs, dance, acting, and spoken dialogue. And lastly, rhythm and blues. It is called the R&B and developed after the World War II. So, did you know what is your musical style?